Alrighty, and we're back. And fun fact, I just spent 5 minutes going to the bathroom and getting myself a drink, and in that time I hadn't paused the main stream. So if I'd been leaving that main stream running, then we hadn't even got to the 5-minute break yet. So their break was at least 15 minutes long, but to be fair, they spent a lot of that probably talking and doing more analysis on the end of the last game, which is, you can spend a lot more time breaking down analysis when you have more people to bounce ideas off of. In our case, we just wanted to get it sorted. So, let's get ready to get this going. We have our results from Saturday's matches so far, although one of them does appear to be freaking out just a little bit, but that's fine. I'm sure nothing's wrong there. So, Granite Gaming losing 0-3 to Oxygen Esports. Our second match from Saturday's games, 30k versus ONYX. Remember that we are casting games from yesterday. As such, I request that you do avoid spoilers. Please do not drop any spoilers in the chat for those who have not seen those games yet. We will just be doing what we can and having as much fun as we can with those games. And then, of course, after that, we will be jumping into tomorrow's games, which will, or I guess today's games, actually, which we will be doing right afterwards, starting at 4 PM EDT or 9 PM British time. We will have Chili Mountain versus Storm Esports. And then, of course, we'll be going into the rematch of the grand finals of last season, of Season 1. It's going to be current Season 1 champions, Simplicity, versus NGS Storm Division champions, Wild Heart Esports. So it's all to play for. But coming up next, we do have current Icebreaker Cup champions and first place in the Masters Clash, 30k. And they are playing off against ONYX right now. So, or I guess yesterday, 30k. They've been running X-Ray as the tank player, and it's been working very well. They've yet to utilize Hyde, their newest sub player, but it's a great sub to have. Really gives them that flexibility. He is the Stukov god. And then you look at the side of the rest of the team. Liam, big standout between Hasu and Liam. These are the two big steadfast members of 30k. It's worked very, very well for them after they traded BBJ. So we'll see if that was a worth trade for them. Yasu put on a great performance last season, and as such, more than earned their place on a starting roster for a team, so great to see that. There's a wasp sitting just behind my insect netting, so I'm going to keep an eye on that while also trying to find my bug spray, just so I know where it is. Because if the wasp comes in here, there's my bug spray. Okay. We know where that is, just in case it decides to enter into my domicile. On the other side, ONYX, you notice they only have 5 players. That's because they got absolutely wrecked due to trying to bend the rules, as it were. And because they bent the rules, they got kind of dunked on and weren't able to do a huge amount about that, and they have been banned from trading until week 4. As such, they are limited to this roster, but they still have all their roles covered. They have funds on that flex roll, gives them a lot of flexibility. Gotfilth, Valamar. Gotfilth, one of the best assassins in the league. Valamar, really solid on the support role. Uki, busted in there with that offlane, and Bad Benny on tank. They've got a lot of flexibility there with that roster. Really gives them the options when it comes to getting whatever picks they want. Bad Betty is a very good tank player. We're going to be seeing Cursed Hollow as the first map chosen by 30k. Alterac and Battlefield were the banned maps, with Alterac being banned by 30k. Battlefield, by the looks of it, being banned by the side of ONYX. Excuse me for a second, I'm just going to get rid of this wasp because it has decided to, in fact, enter my domicile. So I need to make it go away from there. Okay, I think we've removed it from the domicile. Alrighty, we got it. We are good. Sorry about that, everybody. So, first map, Cursed Hollow. Wide map again. We're going to be seeing a little bit more global potential, probably. The ability to fly around the map with Falstad or teleport with Brightwing is going to be really, really useful. Going to give them great soaking capability. What do we see? We know that Hasu is a very good Falstad. So perhaps we'll see them go that way. Tetcher also a team who can be very flexible sometimes. Bring out some very interesting drafts. And we've already seen ONYX bust out some weird stuff in the Icebreaker Cup. A little bit of Tyrael from time to time. They're one of the few teams that has also showed Abathur. So perhaps seeing that materialize. They did lose with the Abathur, but it is there. It is an option. So far, the ONYX has shown Varian as main tanks. Varian, Anubarak, and ETC. They're also one of the only teams to run ETC. So, let's get this going. Tetcher on the left, ONYX on the right. Let's see how they start this off. ONYX with first pick, first ban, due to the map choice being made by Tetcher. Going to be the Lucio ban to start off with. Very sensible. Tetcher, of course, went 3-0 in last week's games. 3-0ing Oxygen Esports, in fact. Putting on a great performance. They also busted out the Tyrael. Worked very, very well. There was a Tracer game they brought the Tyrael in on. Bringing back Tassadar. Haven't seen that in a while. We can see Sonya banned out by ONYX for now. It's a good map for Sonya, because every map's a good map for Sonya. She's really good right now. Every map's a good map for you when you're OP. What next? Now let's remove the Chromie. That's the final ban here. It's a solid choice. But that's an immediate Hogger first pick there with Uther and Lucio removed. We immediately see Tetcher try to control the global potential. Again, very big map. Controlling the global is going to give you some type of an advantage no matter what. Being able to out-soak your opponents, being able to out-rotate your opponents. It's never a bad idea. And with offlane already taken, ONYX have removed one of the other best globals in the game from their options by taking Dahaka kind of out of the equation unless they go for a double Bruiser comp. Cassia and Malfurion in play. It's all looking very strong so far. ONYX, this draft looks pretty safe for now. Nothing hyper crazy or special for now, just safe picks that do good damage. Tetcher. There's not really anything you can ban here. I'm just going to ban Varian. That's a safe choice. We already saw how the anti-heal could work so well in our first series of the day. So just take that out of action. You're going to have a good time. Makes sense. Very sensible indeed. Now then, ONYX, what did they ban? With Falstad Brightwing on the board. They're going to ban out D.Va. D.Va into Hogger is a matchup that D.Va does okay into. It really depends on positioning. D.Va can also double soak a little bit faster than Hogger, so that might be some good value taken for them there. Tetcher. They need main tank. They need healer. Wait, they don't need healer. They need main tank, they need off lane. And then either a second bruiser, second support, or a second damage. There's Malthael. With On a Pale Horse, they could double soak with that super easily. And the Anubarak, great for sieging. Really high pick rate these days. Good engage, good burst. Combined with Brightwing, very hard to kill. Makes a lot of sense. Especially as we're seeing Q build Cassius these days. Beetle build Noob is really becoming popular. It's going to be a Vikings coming in for ONYX, picked up by Funds, and Tyrael for Bad Betty. Very cool. Very similar to the draft we saw last time, but instead of a Zarya, we got a Tyrael in it. And no double support. $30K. Last pick for them. They've got a Vikings on the board. A Zeratul could be pretty solid here. I Sergeant Hammer. Classic style, and 30k, I believe, were the ones to pull this off last time. So, when you are up against the Vikings, in this case it was against Oxygen Esports with 30k, they were up against a Viking Sergeant Hammer, they were up against a Viking Abathur composition. They realized that the counter to that is that comps, the whole idea is to split soak and deal with, split soak and win in the late game. The way you deal with that is you win early, and they absolutely dunked them on Towers of Doom. That's what they're going to try this game. They're just going to try and win early. Tyrell's going to be okay against that Sergeant Hammer as the game goes on. But in the early game, Sergeant Hammer is going to very easily outpush that Tyrael. No one's other than Cassie's going to be able to deal with that, and they've already got easy enough front line with a Nubrak to protect that Hammer. So right now, this is just 30k really abusing the fact that the ONYX just don't have anything that can deal with the Sergeant Hammer until later on in the games. Very sensible. This is a smart pick by 30k. I'm very much leading their way in this draft. The Vikings could get value here, but I'm very much leaning towards 30k. This is a strong draft by them. I think that there's very few tools ONYX have that can deal with this effectively. We'll see if I am correct as we head in to game number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this going. On the right-hand side, ONYX with Bad Benny on Tyrael, Valimar on the Malfurion, Uki on the Vikings. It's going to be Gutfilth on the Cassia, which means it's Funds on the Hogger. Interesting. So it's Uki on the Vikings. Very fun to see. Uki is also a very good Vikings player. He's played it a couple times in EU. That is ONYX. Currently 0-3, wanting to get themselves on the board. 30k, currently 3-0, looking to try and extend their lead in the entire table. Hasawabs on the Sergeant Hammer, X-Ray on the Nubarak, Yasuwu these days, playing on that Brightwing. In the middle lane, it will be Liam on that Malthael, and Falstad will be chilling in the bot lane. That is Die Now. Immediate siege, spawn some beetles, run it down, even drop some mines on there. You can see there Gotfilth and Valimar trying to make their way in. X-Ray try to interrupt their rotations, but they're not going to play hyper-aggressive, just play it safe. They got Falstad to split a lane, they got Malthael to split a lane, so the Vikings don't gain any lead here. They are going to rotate, though. Interesting. Keep them moving. Let Hammer try and abuse the mobility. Hammer does not have a lot of mobility. A little bit of damage done to Funds there. Counter engage, making the most of Tyrael's shields. Great push. Actually getting more tower damage done and getting a tower than the Sergeant Hammer did. Eric goes down to Falstad, though. Falstad is a really good Vikings counter these days. And you don't want to go Q build, you don't want to go W build into a Vikings either. Gonna race that down. X-Ray. Poking away. Hasu trying to deal with Benny. A noob gonna find Hogger on that Bruiser Cab. Funds not looking too healthy at this point. Has to trade a little bit back and forth. Still taking a lot of damage. He's gonna need help. Malfurion's on the way. Funds is nearly dead. Funds has to give this up. This cap will be fully leashed. Great harassment by X-Ray. Falstad's still soaking away. Funds actually going to eat even more damage here. Liam is relentless here onto that knoll. Hasu rotating in. They're going to trade a little bit of top damage. Going with, of course, that extra unstoppable for Hammer, the siege tactics. They grab themselves a tower. In the meantime, top is still being very hard pushed in, and this is the boss lane for ONYX. They've already taken down the entire front wall, and they're going to get the fountain too. 30k, their attempt at trying to grab themselves an early lead, currently backfiring. Uki losing 2 Vikings almost down. They've had to 3-man the Vikings just to have a chance of sustaining here. Hammer grabs the second tower. Not going to go in for the fountain. Siege Camp grabbed in top lane. Bruiser Camp will finally be finished. Not the best bounce angle, but it's really hard to find a good bounce angle on this map. You can do an up-down one, but it's really far. You even have to bring Godfilth. I think this is just going to be an attempt by Oxygen to ONYX, to give this up. X-Ray stuns them out. Uki, double stun, triple stun, dead. Dyna already making their way up to top lane, soaks the experience there. Pushes in with that siege cap, and now Hammer sieged in bot lane. No one in position to defend that yet. Yasuo really going hard on the defense. Make sure they keep everyone safe. They can teleport in at any time, but also just making sure they keep up with the XP. Making use of that second global. Falstad literally playing the role of the second offlane this game as well. Hammer, the siege, with Hover Siege now in play. Really starting to set up some damage. Also, interestingly enough, Hasu not go for the usual level 1. Normally these days, you'd see people be going for the... Hang on, Sergeant Hammer. You'd see her going for the ambush. Sometimes Maelstrom rounds, but in this case, advanced artillery. Quicker wave clear. That's the commitment this time. Full shield build for the... Will die now. Has to barrel roll away from it. Eric, who's running him down. He's committing. He gets it. Uki kills Falstad. He trades Eric for it, but that is easily a worth trade. Nicely done. The run it down. Hasu going to start poking away, trying to clear him out. Fend knocked back. Hasu has to boost away. Got Filth really making the most of that hyper aggression here. Using the speed boost from Tyrael as well with that swift retribution. Very nicely done. Really piling on the aggro there. Matt Benny channeling in. Charge comes in with Brightwing dead. Momentum is going to be tripped to be gained. X-Ray. Focus down the shield. The shed exoskeleton. The speed boost is there. Channel is what did come in for ONYX. That is 1-2-1 now. It is a Dynamite build Hogger, by the way. Trying to stack off the hammer. Makes sense. If he's going to stand still, Hogger might as well gain some max health out of it. I do like this build. I really do. I don't think we see enough of it. Piling on the pressure, diving over the wall. A little bit of damage, big counter damage though. Bad Betty very nearly in trouble. X-Ray, focus down, big focus. Got Filth, one more auto, can't do it. Again, the shed exoskeleton. X-Ray, that mobility so fast. The level 10 is hit almost simultaneously as Dynow grabs the first fort of the game. Pressure up in top lane. Good interrupt. We got Dream Shot at level 4 for Yasu. That interrupts Betty and slows down the rotation. Cocoon. BF orbital, not orbital BFG, sorry, just standard BFG. Funds taking a lot of damage. Trying to stay alive, but just eaten. Absolutely wrecked by Hasu and Dynow there. The damage output's so high. Sanctification, play again, Twilight Dream, Valkyrie, Hordapult. It's all pretty standard across the board here. Even BFG these days is pretty standard stuff. X-Ray getting bullied by Uki. Olaf goes down, and it looks like this is just going to be given up. They can't interrupt it again. But Falstad is getting a lot of value bot lane while this is happening. So 30k willing to give up that tribute in exchange for massive bot lane damage. Falstad won't finish the job, but he sets it up nicely. Hasu helping with the siege. Valkyrie protected by the terrain. Yasu gets out of danger there. Very close though. Tribute number 4. This is going to be a final tribute for ONYX. This will be a second tribute for 30k. You see 30k playing very aggressively this time. They've even brought Falstad. They know that they have to actually commit a bit more to this one. X-Ray tanking the damage for now. Staying alive. Gonna creep forward, some team comps we can't read. But can barely even see who they're for because of ONYX's logo being impossible to read. They harass in. Good gust. Funds coming in from the side with the Hordapult immediately gets polyed and last righted. Funds focus down. Good idea to try and dive the backline, but getting absolutely countered by the members of 30k. Uki goes down, losing Eric. Balog is depushing top lane, but this will be 30k securing this tribute. That gives them a little bit of momentum. They finish off the second fort. 2 forts down. This is looking good for the members of 30k right now, but very smart. Boss attempt coming in for the members of ONYX, capitalizing on the fact that they have Vikings in the lanes and they can see where 30k is. 30k, though, they're going to do the same thing. And even though ONYX got the head start, I don't think they cleared this fast enough to be able to rotate down. In fact, they might even finish second. Falstad, Malthael, and Hammer turns out absolutely bops the boss. It's going to be pretty close between the two. The extra knockback for Sergeant Hammer, going with that entrenched here. 75% knockback increased. And also damage when you are in siege mode. Great to deal with Hogger. So, boss in the top lane into the already weakened fort. This will certainly die. But on the other hand, 30k's boss running straight for a tier 2, running straight for a keep. There is a wall there, and there is already an Eric picking away at it. So, 30k, they have to contest this. Valkyrie onto Falstad. X-Ray able to stun them in, but it's not enough to save Die now. Autopult comes in. Big knockback from Hasu, but he still has to quickly cleanse and run away. That's going to be a curse going over to the members of ONYX here. Eric was play again in, meaning the boss is no longer being defended outside of the towers and the minions in bot lane, but Balog was pushing in top lane with the friendly boss of ONYX. As such, they got a lot more push and still have a lot more health left on their boss, even though they had to go for a fort, and 30k did not. As such, this keep is probably about to die. Good poly from Yasuo. Hasu able to stay alive here. The Yasuo-Hasu duo pushing in as hard as they can to try and defend this, but that boss is running in for core right now. ONYX with high momentum. The damage output should be enough to save him. Liam just saved there by Yasuo, as we will see the boss go down. That's gonna be 30k. Gaining some momentum here. They clear everything out, gain themselves some extra push. Valkyrie dodged by Die now. And unless ONYX can find a kill with their main engage tool now gone, this will be the end of that push, and it looks like they notice, they agree, they're going to back away.
And so the curse ends.
Level 1 talent for Hogger, 32 stacks on that easy throw dynamite. Even going to go for that journeyman cooking. All in on that extra health. That's a lot of extra health for Hogger right now, going to be very tanky. But here against a Malthael, it's a lot of sustain. A lot of percentage damage. Hammer, speaking of percentage damage, now has Giant Killer. Uki continuing to push out bot lane. That is all of the forts of 30k gone. ONYX still have mid forts and were able to defend bot keep very effectively. ONYX very heavily in the lead in terms of structures against a Hammer composition. It's going to be rough for 30k to deal with. Making their way in. Urticating Spines you can see there for X-Ray. A little bit of extra DPS in fights, making the most of that kite that's plating cooldown reduction. A little bit of damage being dealt. Falstad already activated that extra attack speed to harass in. It's a secret weapon, Falstad this time. Hasu taking quite a bit of damage. Drops the siege tactics early. Valkyrie was off cooldown. There's Gust, but Root, Sleep, Twilight Dream, Die now has to barrel roll. Here comes Valkyrie. Yasuo teleports away with the blink heal to dodge it. And everyone gets out. That was an intense battle between these two teams. They try to chase them down, cannot do so. But let's watch this again. Keep an eye on those engage angles. They really focus hard on to Die now here at the initial part of this fight. Try to set it up. Hasu was the initial target. Lots of damage, lots of stuff. Cocoon is dropped to try and prevent the Valkyrie. They set up to try and get the Valkyrie, but the route underneath Die now is good. Twilight Dream just short, so they try to Valkyrie either Hammer or the Brightwing. Cannot find either. Great escapes from the members of 30k there. Bot being defended. There was a bit of a push, but it was held by 30k. Top, Balog continues to pile on the pressure. They're doing everything they can to try and just whittle down 30k. It's another tribute available. Balog's going to get that, preventing it from going over to 30k. Falstad could have, in theory, flowed up there, but not going to take the risk. Funds will fly away. Tribute is captured. ONYX continuing to prevent the comeback potential of 30k. Bruiser Camp available to the bosses up in just under a minute. Plenty of time. Balok has retreated all the way back. No reason to stay so far forward at this stage. Tribute gonna be spawning in. And this is a 30k side Tribute. It's actually a little bit of a worse situation for ONYX. Not ideal for them. Let's see what they can do about this. Will they contest it? Tyro's already in position. They have Eric down here too for the TP. So they're going to make their way in. 30k is nearby. 30k are the ones who could give this up. They could absolutely just let this go if they wanted to. Good clear by Sergeant Hammer. Hasu. Make sure everything is safe. Falstad. Helping clear out Olaf. Remember, they could easily play again. Making the most of a dream shot there. Yasu with the interrupt. They really go for long-range interrupts here. No cooldown reduction that time, so no big dream shot reset. X-Ray used his big interrupt. There we go. Still gets it. The duration is still long enough. There's the blind, but the great polymorph and knockback. There's the BFG. Massive damage output. Hold upon to be used. Last rights lands, though. Brightwing comes in, saving X-Ray. He gets chugged down by the Vikings, but it's enough to save thanks to Yasu's TP. Phase shift and Peekaboo looking good. Liam getting massive healing. Valkyrie onto Hammer. Siege tactics to get Supple to turn around and fight. The Vikings are killed by Liam. And that's going to be 30k starting the boss and grabbing the tribute. The Curse boss combo. They are about to get a massive momentum swing. 30k back in this game. And they are ready to get some serious value. Liam gonna port back. He has on a pale horse. He can join the team a little bit more quickly. They even delay the tribute a little bit longer so that boss gets more time. They could have, in theory, waited a little bit longer, but they wanted to make sure the Vikings were dead for as long as the tribute as possible. So they've timed it relatively well considering. Minion wave gets absolutely bonked. And this keep is certainly gonna die. Using the secret weapon to scout the bush. They know they're safe. Making their way forward. Tyrael in the cocoon. Hogger into the backline. Siege tactics burned early. There's the already knockback from the Hammer as well. The Gust with Wind Tunnel easily executes Tyrael, preventing him from teleporting away. Hammer pulled in by Valkyrie, but does not care. Teleported in, saved by the Brightwing, but we lose a Nubarak. With X-Ray down, it's a 4 versus 4. The Vikings flanking in. They've got that Nordic attack squad for massive damage output. They're going to try and focus down Liam with a huge burst, but they're forced to retreat. The Vikings even going to burn play again for the quick full health heal, but the boss is on the core. 30k. Are they done with this push, or do they try to end here and now? Dino getting chunked by Cassia, but Cassie's the one to fall. Hasu continues to push in. Hogger bouncing back and forth. Great stun, root, sleep. Liam saved by Yasu again. Yasu is insane with these sustains, but the team is starting to look very low. The core will take damage, but they've lost 2 members. They are looking very low. Invisible Friends will get the team out. Everyone ports back. Liam bought back with that none could stop death. And they got 25% off the core. They grabbed the vision on the way out, as our observer showed us. And 30k gaining momentum there. They get their first keep of the game, but they got core damage. The minion wave alone got rid of mid lane, meaning that the structures are now exactly even. Other than the fact that 30k have more damage on top lane. Interesting. What is happening here? The siege camp isn't even available yet. Is this actually a backdoor? They can end the game. These 3 just alone. They're either setting a trap for someone who's about to wave clear bot lane, or they're about to try and end the game. One of them is very much more silly than the other. They have ultra capacitors. There's the comms. That was a really good time to use comms. I'm very smart. I'm sad we can't hear them. It's the first time I'm really sad you can't hear comms in the game. I'd be really curious to see what they're thinking here. Boss has started. They have the vision on the boss. Genius! 30k backdoor. Port's coming out. Liam and Yasu diving forward to try and race it. They've got Hammer. They've got Falstad. One Viking made it back and ported. The rest of the team has run back. X-Ray drops the cocoon. Gust with Wind Tunnel, but they all wrap around. The Wind Tunnel's a little bit misaimed here. Down goes Yasu. It's Dynao and X-Ray racing in. Yasu and Liam have made it into the fight. Dynao stunned out by the Vikings. It's up to Yasu and Liam now. X-Ray focusing down. He's got the Beatles. That's going to be it. Game number 1 goes over to 30k. Beautiful use of vision there by 30k. The second the boss was out, they were there for so long. They were in that bush for a really long time. And the second that they saw their opponents start that boss, they ran in for that core. They knew they could do a lot of damage. With Falstad being very stacked, having that big attack speed bonus, having, of course, just having Sergeant Hammer does a huge amount of damage to structures there. That was superb. Next level strats there. Because, of course, when you don't show 3 people on the map for long enough, what do you think is going to happen? You think they're probably doing boss. So you mirror a boss to make sure that you can keep up. That was really smart. 30k. Well-deserved victory there from down kills. 7 kills to 9. They are able to claim victory. A noob full shield cooldown reduction. Spam those Beatles, baby. Excuse me. Working it out. Getting that sustained mobility in fights. Really nicely done. Malthael. Keeping the extra pressure going. It's nicely done. Everything working pretty well in their favor there. Rightwing still went for the Critterize at level 30, at level 16. Didn't go for Hush, which you sometimes see taken with Dream Shot. The Critterize still really good when you're having a noob and a Falstad Sergeant Hammer burst. But yeah, ONYX, they were really close to winning that game. But one fight and that sneaky backdoor working really well in 30k's favor, they're able to take game 1. Really nice. That was exciting. That was fun. I had a good time. I had a good time casting that. Taking a quick drink. Non-brand named drink because they won't sponsor me. Well, I mean, I haven't asked, but odds are they won't. I'm not exactly picky. I'm not exactly picky when it comes to sponsors because I know that my audience is pretty chill in general. So I know that if I was to get a sponsor, you guys would be pretty chill about it. Like, you guys seem like my viewers seem like the kind of people who would be really chill even if I was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends kind of thing, where they'd just be like, yeah, we see this all the time and it's a little annoying, but we know it gives them money, so it's fine. You all seem like the kind of people who'd be chill with something like that, which I really appreciate. I've got chill viewers, and I like that. It's very nice. Very understanding. So, we're going to be waiting for game number 2 to get set up. Remember, we're casting yesterday's games right now. These games that happened on Saturday, so avoid spoilers. And then once that is finished, we'll be going on a break until the games for today start up. Words are hard. But yes, that is the plan. That may end up being that we have a 1-hour break, in which case, go do what you want. I understand. But that may have to be that may be the case if that does happen. Sorry if so. But I'm pretty sure we shouldn't have too much stuff to do. Hang on, we still have like 2 hours left of this broadcast. It's currently 5, so that will bring us to 7. That's 2 hours. Oh wow, we might be a bit early. I might actually have to turn off the stream and come back. We'll see. I don't want to give you guys a 2-hour break. So, ONYX on Dragonshire here. It's their map choice. Even though they lost, actually. They're choosing map choice over first pick, the usual choice. First pick would be the normal choice everyone would go for, but in this case, ONYX thinks they can take 30k to Dragonshire and gain an advantage that way. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. We'll see if that works out in their favor. I can't look up statistics because I don't want to spoil myself. Which is annoying, but well. I can look up their previous week's games, actually. Did they play on Dragonshire then? They did, and they lost. They went with a Phoenix Hogger composition. Phoenix Hogger, Karazim, Varian, Chromie. Alrighty. That was their last week's games. Alright, we can work with that. We can work with that. That's some knowledge. We have some information. So, can 30k become the first place team by being the first team to go 6-0? No matter what, if 30k wins this series, they will technically be first until today's games. Today's games could obviously change that pretty quickly. So we'll have to see how that goes. Still plenty of time, plenty of flexibility that can happen here. We'll have to wait and see. So, we're just waiting for the draft to start up. Dragonshire is the map, so we see heroes like Rexxar get a little bit more priority because the offlane is suddenly much more important. Everyone's a little bit more focused on that because of the amount of actual importance it adds to the game. We'll see if that's the priority they choose to go down, because obviously having that Rexxar on your composition gives you the counter to Sonya, but Hogger could have a pretty good matchup into it. And of course, you pick Diva, you have a reasonable matchup into the Rexxar. Malthael has a really good matchup into the Rexxar, and 30k have already shown they will absolutely do that if the chance is given. Kira will wreck it. Looks like, nope, they're just not going to take the risk. Rexxar will be taken out of action. ONYX now. Going to stick with that Lucio. We will likely see Uther now banned then by 30k or ONYX. I'm going to guess by 30k. 30k first pick. They should probably ban an offlaner, Hogger or Sonya, because then they can get the other one. And then hope that ONYX bans the Uther. That would be my guess. No, they banned Varian. Very interesting. Varian, such a high priority tank these days. Very interesting. This is a very good map for rotating between two lanes and just for hunting kills, because everyone just kind of has to rotate through the same area if they don't want to waste a lot of time. So Varians can gain a lot of value on this map. One of his best ones. So now ONYX. Do they ban Uther or do they ban Sonya or Hogger? They ban Medivh. Medivh getting removed this time. Very sensible. So there's the immediate Uther first pick. Now ONYX have the choice of Sonya or Hogger in their first rotation. And they will likely take the Hogger out of those because Hogger a little bit stronger on the objective. Sonya requires most of her sustain to be in a minion wave, so Hogger will actually have a small advantage on this map. So there we go. There's that Hogger. And Malfurion going to be coming in for ONYX. Very sensible. 30k now. They'll probably still pick up the Sonya. If not, they could go for like a Malthael of their own or a Diva. There's that Sonya. And then Noob? No, Cassius sealing that away. Very sensible. Cassia was a really good pick here and really good into Malfurion. If you can land those Valkyries, Malfurion has a real bad time. ONYX now. What do they ban? They have their healer. Maybe banning Stukov for double heals would be sensible here. If not, main tanks, getting rid of that Anub. They ban the Stukov. Double heals is still very scary. That main tank Uther would be really hard to deal with if there was a Stukov in the back. In this case, they remove that value. If you're looking at double healers with Uther now, the options are much more limited. Deckard and Brightwing would be the next highest on the list, because Lucio, Stukov, and Malfurion are gone. None of those are ideal. 30k. They're going to ban out the Anubrak themselves. Anubrak into Cassia. That's why we're seeing a lot of the priority these days. It's a very sensible removal. ONYX now. They could go Diablo. Take a leaf perhaps out of the Book of Oxygen. ONYX could also go Tyrael. Similar idea. Get themselves that Tyrael Malfurion. Get themselves that Tyrael Malfurion Tracer comp. They went into the Icebreaker. Not going to do that this time. Instead, Chromie and DTC. Second DTC we are seeing, both times by Bad Benny. Chromie is a great pickup here, especially with the mana regen of Malfurion. Can keep that slowing sands on the ground for much longer periods. Alrighty. 30k now. They get Karazim. They are still going double support. Just a much more damage-focused one. I like it. So it's main tank Uther, support Karazim. Falstad, Cassia. Great setup there that gives them the rotation they need. It's a solid draft. My concern is their interrupts for Mosh. Valkyrie, Spear, Gust, Leap if they pick it, Stun if they come from above, and now they've got a lot of disruption. Obviously, Maya's going to be putting people into a group, which is bad for ONYX because Sonya and Uther work really well when close together. And Cassia's pretty okay up close. Karazim obviously wants to be up close. Cassia's the only one who's going to have trouble with that. But you are putting them close together when you have a Hogger, a Malfurion, and a Chromie and an ETC. This is a tough one. Both teams got a really scary draft. I love Karazim normally, but I am concerned about this. I don't know if they have enough. They have a little bit of healing, but Chromie does a lot of damage. Uther might have to work early overtime. Uther, if they go W build, the main tank, they kind of have to go stun. This is a tough one, actually. This is the best draft I've seen from Oxygen right now. I love the Maiev. It works so well with everything they have. Everyone works well if they're grouped up. Malfurion, multi-man roots, the ETC, Mosh Pit, of course. They've got the Chromie. Get a big Sandblast onto everyone. Get a big Dragon's Breath story. You're going to have a really good time. It's really hard to deal with. There's just not... If level 20 hits, it's 30k. If they just go for big AoE D shield, that's just game over. It's done. This is not a hope. But overall, I don't know, fam. I don't know. That's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy that they're in that situation where it's so close together. Jeez. Alrighty. Well, what can we win here? Tetchy, please. Tetchy, please. Oh dear. Alright. Well, I'm curious. I am curious who comes out ahead here. I think 30k, like I said, they have a really solid draft. There's nothing wrong with this draft. It's very aggressive running in with that Karazim. It's a really aggressive style. I do quite like that. I can't help but feel they might... It's Chromie on the board. I can't help but feel I would have liked the Brightwing more than the Karazim. The Karazim adds a lot of extra damage, but they already have Cassia and Falstad. I can't help but feel I would have liked the Brightwing more because it's better against the Chromie. It's really tough. It's really tough. We'll have to see. We'll have to see as we're heading in. Game number 2 in this best of 5 series. ONYX with the Hogger. With the Hogger played by Uki. Bad Betty on the ETC. Funds on the Funds on the Maiev hidden in there. Got Filth on the Chromie, and Valamar is on that Malfurion. Funds on the tiny mount, hiding from us. On the left, 1-0 up. It is 30k. Liam on the Sonya. We have Dynao on the Cassia. Yasuo gonna be on the Uther. Oh, interesting. That is very interesting. X-Ray, the tank player usually, but also used to be a main support. They are on that Karazim, and that of course leaves Hasuobs on the Falstad. And we do go for W build Uther. Okay, that's actually really encouraging. They're missing a little bit of extra CC, but that extra armor against all those big AoE abilities, very sensible. Block party for Bad Betty gives them some extra sustain against the Cassia. Very smart. Nice, just memento. Big tether for Funds into the root. That combo is what we are scared of here. Tether into root. X-Ray and Yasu focusing onto Funds. Big Dragon Breath coming in from Chromie. Massive damage output. Nicely done. Got Filth setting them up nicely. Dynao. Rotation interrupted. Bad Betty. Trading stacks for annoyance. There's a potential lost XP, but will they trade Bad Benny himself? Great route again from Malfurion into the Tether. Hasu focused down. Dies to the Malfurion auto. XP lost by 30k. They'll still get a fair amount of it though. The minion wave did accumulate down here in the bot lane, so they don't miss a huge amount. ONYX starting on their siege camp. They've also got their bruiser camp going with Hogger going for a big bounce there. Not the perfect angle. He just made use of his loot hoard to get max value there. A Bad Betty rotating aggressively again. Malfurion's on the way, as is Maiev. The idea here isn't to steal this camp. It's to delay and distract. They wanted to try and claim bot lane, which they have for a little bit. Channel comes in. What a power slide by Benny! Able to interrupt X-Ray, prevent the channel being interrupted. First DK going over to ONYX. What a play! That's going to be them pushing in the mid lane, setting themselves up for great value here. Punt sends Yasuo away. They turn their attention onto X-Ray. Big damage output. Dragon Eye gets popped though. And Funds blinks away. Liam holding for now. Hogger clears out the siege, the bruiser camp, basically by himself. The power of Hogger. 28 stacks on that wave of light by Uther. This one, of course, increases armor duration. It's not much, but it will help out as the game goes on. Time trap expires. Bottom bruiser camp being scouted and now started by 30k. Yasuo started their siege, forced to retreat from it, but the second they've done that, bot becomes a little more obvious that that camp's being started because only one person was there. Now Yasuo is in between a rock and a very hard place. It's going to be the knockback into the wall. Focus down. We will lose Yasuo. Great rotation coming in from ONYX there. Seeing only Falstad on the camp, nothing else they could be doing. There's only one place they could be. That siege, rush down, they are able to clear. And even steal the bruiser camp. Very sensible, very nicely done. Also, Funds mixing up the builds here. Going for a different build to what we would normally see. Normally we would be seeing the percentage damage coming in at level 4 for Maiev. Going with that sudden vengeance. In this case, go with the pin down. If you hit 3 enemy each time, 3 enemy heroes are hit by a single fan of knives, they gain an additional 5% damage up to 40%. If they hit 4, instantly gains all rewards. So if they get it, they can get up to 75%, up to 65% extra damage. So if they hit 3 heroes with fan of knives the first time, 25% extra damage. Each extra time, 5% more, up to 40. Okay, so for up to 40% bonus damage total. All right, that makes more sense. Secret weapon for Falstad. Seeing red. Seeing red Hogger this time. I'm really curious what the difference is. Is it the cooldown reduction to get the spell power reduction onto Sonya? Slowing Sands onto Die now. In the root, in the sleep, in the dead. ONYX. They're able to isolate 30k very consistently. Interrupt on the fly. The tether from Funds misses though. Fun's going to make its way for the channel. Second Dragonite of the day. Going over to ONYX. Fun's going to be picking that up, making their way down to the bottom lane this time. This is, of course, the triple camp lane, so always good to set that one up. Falstad flies in. They really want Uki. X-Ray's got the speed boost, knockback, barrel roll, zap, dead. Kill is acquired. Down goes the fort. First fort of the game going over to ONYX. Trading out for top lane, Sonya and Falstad rushing that down alone. We're not going to see the Warden's Cage to combo with Twilight Dream. We are seeing the Containment Disc. Going for an isolation style here. So Containment Disc, we do still see the other wombos though. Slowing Sands, Mosh Pit, the Twilight Dream Hogger. Going to stick with Horde Pole. On the other side, 7-sided Strike. Divine Shield, very sensible. The Valkyrie. This will definitely be a Mighty Gust game. Although it could be Leap Hinterlands. There's Gust, so this will probably be a... No, this could still be a Leap, actually. The extra interrupt on Mosh could be really useful. Either one will be good here. There's a lot of CC on the side of ONYX, so having that Wrath would be really good to reduce that CC duration. And there it is. There is Wrath. Tether going to pull Dynao in. They don't go for the counter power slide, though. Falstad hovering above as well, so Hasu was ready to flank in if needed. So very sensible. Team was prepared. Siege Camp at the ready. Spear comes in. They work away at that Siege Camp. Cleaning that up. Nicely done. Top. Burned through by the members of ONYX, keeping their pressure up there. And they are just continuing to extend a lead here. They have a very minor XP lead. But they're the ones that seem to have all the map pressure. Other than Bot, where we are seeing Sonya, who was pushing it, but immediately ETC and Malfurion, and actually almost everyone, making their way to either near there or down there, ready to defend it. Chromie left alone instead, going to be able to clean that up, as Sonya rotated mid to be with her team. Momentum in favor of ONYX. They continue to pile on the pressure. Bad Benny. Eating a hit. Delaying. Distracting. Good power slide. 2-man. Realizing they were outnumbered. Backed away. Even dodges the Lightning Fury. Nicely done. Hasu in position. Ready to follow up and re-engage if anyone stays. Bad Benny. Making their way forward. You see the safe rotation being made by 30k here. They have no fort here. So they rotate through the their side of the jungle, but Bad Benny playing aggressive. Tether denied by 7-sided, but still a lot of damage taken by X-Ray. Stun. Valkyrie sidestepped. Fun's able to dodge that. ONYX still in momentum. We're going to see that relentlessness coming in for Karazim. Extra armor here when he gets stunned. Teleport armor for Funds going with the channel. Third DK of the game for Funds, but no, interrupted by Falstad. Hasu made their way to top. Will prevent the Dragon Knight from going over to ONYX for now. Lots of harassment coming in here. That's a good containment disc focus onto ET. Sorry, focus onto Uther, but the sleep not capitalized on. HeroesCCL being very held here. They've used containment disc. Hornipult's been used. We've seen a couple Valkyries, a 7-sided, but that's really been it. No Moshes, no Twilight Dreams yet. No D-shields. Bad Benny takes a little bit of damage. Just a face melt. Has that loudspeakers. Uther spotted everyone in that bush. Double channel available for 30k. It will be denied in the bot lane as Gotfilth will get some help. Bad Benny. 7-sided, dodges a good chunk of the Mosh, but still gets the sleep. Divine Shield comes out. 30k holding together, but that's a containment disc onto Uther. They tether him in. Yasu focused down and burst. Valkyrie is sidestepped. Gus does not get value. And X-Ray still looking quite low, getting healed up here. Dashes out, but run into Uki, who's turning his attention onto Dynao. Uther does perish. Dynao focused down, slowing Sands. The root, it's close, lands it. And that's the kill onto Dynao. Double channel again for ONYX. Falstad trying to race to top lane. Liam's going to try and interrupt this. Funds channeling, good positioning by Benny. But Hasu made his way up to top lane in time. And Hasu will prevent the Dragon Knight going over to ONYX. Looking strong right now. 30k holding themselves together, but they are now over half a level behind. ONYX continuing to keep the pressure on, keep pushing. Uki. A little bit of a trade of shots, but that's going to be a Dragon Knight. This time, not Fun's in it. We will see Gotfilth in this Dragon Knight. See you later, Yasu. But that leaves Dynao in position to try and make their way in. Uki trading with Hasu. Hasu running him down, but a good bounce. Uki has to hornipole out. Fly from Hasu. It's a big commitment to the fight. One more shot. That's the kill with the percentage damage for good measure. Power slide on to Die now. Tanking through X-Ray on the backline. He's going to try and deal with Valimar. Valkyrie pulls ETC in. They have to run away. Bad Betty very close. Mosh Pit on a 10-second cooldown there. Gust into the corner. Good cues from Cassia, but not enough to capitalize on a kill. Funds still flanking around the side, having to be careful. Stunned out. Containment disc lands. Can they make this into a kill? Seven-sided, immediately burned, and Bad Betty and Valimar too low to continue this fight. Slam landing through the wall as well. Dropping so many of the members of ONYX low that they have to retreat. No stacks of this level 4 for Funds. Really struggling to get value out of that at this stage. We're seeing the Bruiser camp getting raced down. Bad Betty, this time hard invade. Funds over the wall. Good D-shield. Sonya racing through in damage. Mosh Pit will come in, but Poison Spear will finish off ETC. Haga is going wild, baby, but he bounces off the point. Twilight Dream comes out. The damage, they are all low, but Uki is taken out. It was so close, but we will see 30k gain the momentum. Haga just gets the angle off center a little bit, loses his positioning. The Mosh Pit bought some time. The Twilight Dream dropped everyone so low, but 30k, they live through the fight just enough. Now 30k with an invade of their own. They start the Bruiser, but they don't finish it. Bruiser is fully leashed out as the teams decide to leave it alone. ONYX making their way back in once again, thinking if they want it. Gut Filth once again has been left on wave clear duty. Hasu and Die now going to be starting on this bottom Bruiser. This is going to be setting themselves up. They can try to gain some momentum. They're going to be quick. ONYX have flanked them before. Finds them a big group of people. Power slide. Valkyrie into a time trap. There's a containment disc. Bad Betty could re-engage here, but with no Mosh, decides against it. Uki zones the team away, was looking for a stun, couldn't find it. Die now going to port out. Do they know he's there? Yes, they do! Interrupt Tether, pulling him in. Die now in serious trouble, going to focus him down. He realized that he was kind of trapped, so he committed to trying to port out, but realizing they hadn't seen Die now for a bit, that was an immediate opportunity for ONYX to re-engage. Great map awareness. They saw everyone else leave, they didn't see Die now, they knew he was on it. Camp taken by 30k, already cleared. Now a siege camp taken by ONYX. Setting themselves up for more push. Decent damage. Couple cleaves. Funds bounce it away. Bad Benny backs away. Bad Betty doing a great job this game, zoning for his team. Mid will be cleaned out by Uki. Hasu. Barrel roll with that extra movement speed, with the afterburner getting themselves out of danger. Staying safe from the big engage at this stage. Hasu making their way up. Looking strong for the moment. To try and capture top lane, but you can see ONYX hiding themselves from vision. Hasu does not know how many people are up here, so he doesn't know how much he could take this fight versus Uki. The answer not at all, but he dodges the containment disc. Nicely done. Hasu stays safe. Bot goes over to 30k. Gives them time to clear out the wave. Gives Sonya time to soak them experience because level 20 has just been hit for ONYX. Bolt of the Storm for ETC. Astral Communion for the Malfurion. The extra rage and auto attack rage for Hogger. Stomach Sands armor reduction and armor reduction from the Maiev as well. traded out to 30k, bot traded out to ONYX. Both teams waiting for their opportunity to strike at this point. Siege camp grabbed. It was the last currently spawned camp on the map. ONYX gaining momentum that way. Keeping themselves solid, keeping themselves aggressive. ONYX rotate. They can see a bruiser camp. They scout it. Not going to commit to it. There's level 20. 30k able to delay long enough. They have that wind tunnel. It's going to be an imprisoning light for the Cassia. Bulwark of Light. That's going to be big. It's going to be real big if they can land these. Transgression. Ignore pain. Died out. Round the wall. Forces funds back. But it's too late. The funds delay. Another Dragon Knight going over to ONYX. Really nicely done. Funds delay tactics working out. Now, how much can they get? Liam creeps forward. He's got their percentage damage. Pulled in with the tether. Rafa the Berserker has to be burned. Gets cleansed out with the cleansing touch from X-Ray. Make their way forward. Giant Slammer for Liam. Gets de-shielded. No Bulwark. Valkyrie pulls in Benny, who's trying to get out of here. Root on funds with the imprisoning light. Focus down. Benny is gone. Great tether. That's going to be the first kill going over to 30k as they try to look for funds, who drops the containment disc. Has to back away a safer route, but Dido mounts up. He's got the movement speed talent at level 16. Level 13, sorry. Not enough to find a kill. Chromie stayed alive in that Dragon Knight, just poking away. That's a big kill on ETC. Very little damage done to the mid lane. And ONYX, they create some momentum there. This is a good job done so far by ONYX. Dragon Knight expires. Got Filth backs away. Dai now clears those out. Heroics, everything except the Twilight Dream and the Divine Shield are off cooldown. So we see Bruiser camps being picked up by both teams. ONYX stealing at 30k's Bruiser camp for top lane. 30k, they grab the contested bottom Bruiser camp. Chromie clears so fast. No one up in top lane to clear for 30k yet, despite having globals. They're sticking together. Staying together, trying to pile on the pressure. Bad Benny. Sneaking around. Be careful. Liam backs away. Keeps it safe. Looking good so far. 30k. Moving in. They land the Valkyrie. Seven-sided. Massive burst. Again. Goodbye, Benny. They're blowing him up so hard, so many times. Wind tunnel, but Funds blinks away. They even Twilight Dream in with Astral Communion. And that's another fight. Started by 30k and ended. The Sonic Sands actually making this pretty hard for X-Ray. Cleansing Touch gets them out of danger. Whew, back and forth. But 30k again, finding the same kill. They have to burn quite a few heroics for it, but every time they keep trading up. Uki, focus down. Seven-sided strike not available for another 12 seconds. Foster not here, that is their percentage damage. Cassia did not take any of her percentage damage talent. Funds. Tethers in Dido. Right into the root. Nicely done. Dido is deleted by Hogger. Uki rolling through him. D-shield with the bulwark on Uther and Sonya. But still the tether onto Yasuo. Into the root again. Maiev and Malfurion. The new death combo. Absolutely tearing them apart. Liam and Hasu. All that's left as the core is being run on in. Gust is available. That will buy them some time. Liam delays, distracts. Lots of damage being dealt. There is a fountain available. Will be procced. Has to need to find the right angle to gust as many people as possible. Dodges the containment disc. There it is. Just hits the 2 front line. To try and focus onto him, has to barrel roll away as he turns his attention onto Gutfilth. Liam was unable to find the angle there. Bolt, power slide, there we go. Bad Benny gets value out at level 20. 12 seconds left until the Cassia and the Karazim, but the core is going down. Liam goes in deep, big commitment to try and save the game, trying to stay alive. There's the timeout by Gutfilth in the slowing sands. Massive spell armor reduction onto Sonya as game number 2 goes over to ONYX. Kick, 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 kick. Nice. ONYX win game number 2, evening up the score to a 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. Score is back equal, meaning no matter what, 30k cannot have a perfect season. Unlucky. But it does mean that ONYX are now 1 step closer to putting themselves in that 1-1 position with Oxygen. It is absolutely doable for them now. 12 kills to 6 at the end of that game. And it all came down to that one really big play. Just continuously, Funds and Valimar over and over again. Pull into root into kill. Pull into root into kill. And the one big fight with Uki just getting the perfect hog wild. Just a spin through the entire team. Just absolutely wrecking them. Complete murderization here. Full build again. Q build on the Maiev, and I don't think Funds got stacked that game, but it didn't seem to matter. They still seem to have more than enough DPS to actually get those kills anyway. Hogger went for the more old style build with cooldown reduction, with that seeing red as opposed to the more wave clear focus, as it seems, with that trash fire. Malfurion, pretty regular build here. Nothing too far out of the ordinary there. Didn't need to give his team much mana, so didn't have to worry about Shandow's clarity. Very nicely done. Very nicely done indeed. The Copenhaggers. Copenhaggers. Kind of sad Copenhagen didn't make it, didn't enter into an agreement with either with any of the teams. Would have loved to see him in CCL, but that is their choice. Alrighty, so the main stream at this point would have gone on a break, and normally I would say absolutely sod that and skip it, but I'm already out of water, so I'm a little thirsty, so I'm going to put it on a quick break. I won't even put a timer on, just so I can just go fill up my water. So don't go anywhere, everybody. Once I get back, I will skip us to where the game is, but don't go anywhere. I'm just going to go fill up my water, and I will be back in a moment. See you in a sec. Hydrate! Alrighty, we back. I've got some water. Feels good. So, I'm just going to skip through the main stream. It looks messy. There we go. I'm going to skip through the main stream to get back to where the break would finish. There we go. 10 seconds left. That'll do. So, once again, reminder of what we are doing today, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are casting the Saturday matches that I missed yesterday. So we've already covered Granite versus Oxygen, and we are currently 2 games into 30k versus ONYX. Currently the score is 1-1. After that, we will either turn off the stream and turn it back on again, but more likely we will just turn the stream onto a break when we come back for the second series. That's at 9 PM British time. It's currently 6 PM here, so that's 3 hours away. So it probably means we're going to be on a little bit of a longer break. Sorry about that. But we will be casting the Sunday matches as well as they happen live. So, speaking of the games that are live, these ones were live yesterday. We are now on to ONYX's map choice as 30k have opted for first pick. And they've chosen to take us to Tomb of the Spider Queen. This will be our 3rd map of the day in this best of 5 series. So, can 30k begin to get their lead back? Or will ONYX continue their opportunity to try and get themselves on the board with a couple series wins? Right now, as the table stands, 30k sits in tied 3rd place with Wildheart Esports and Simplicity. The 3-0s are broken! Yes, the first non-3-0 series in CCL. As ONYX took a map. They did it! They only went and did it! Let's see if ONYX can turn this into a good series. We'll have to see what our first best of 5 series is. This is the first one that's come close. We'll have to see. Our first 5 game series. Words are hard. Words are hard. Try not to use them. Disrespect words. Everyone take up sign language. Down with words. Actually, that would make my job really hard. And yeah, casting would be a lot harder if you had to do it with sign language. You have to go real quick. And I don't even know any words in sign language, so probably a little bit impossible. That would be cool though. If I had like unlimited budget for a tournament, I would absolutely have a signing stream. You'd have to find someone who knows how to play Heroes who can sign, though. That's interesting. Would they just have to, or would you just have someone else commentating and them do like the signing alongside with it? That's all right. All right. More thought to be had about this idea. But the point I'm saying is, if I had unlimited budget for a tournament, I would absolutely try to include a signer because that would be cool. Try and be as inclusive as possible, fam. I don't think you need like an audio descriptor one because I think casters do a really good job of that. Like, let's be honest, a lot of if you have a play-by-play caster, they're pretty good at explaining what's going on a lot of the time. So I don't think you need a full explainer there. So I think signing would be the only one you'd need fully. And then foreign language streams, Heroes is really, really good at that. Esports is really good about being inclusive, fam, especially Heroes. We have so many foreign language streams, it's great. We're going to see Chromie taken out of action. Was too strong last game. ONYX did quite the bopping. So now ONYX with their first ban. Uther was let through last time. Didn't seem to be as big of a deal. So they're going to ban out Sonya. 30k very nearly used that Sonya to win because Liam was absolutely slamming. Welcome to the slam now. This is the Space Jam. $30k now with their second ban. Uther, Lucio, Medivh. All these heroes are available. Hogger is going to be the chosen choice. There's a good map for Hogger. You can get some really good bounce angles here. Every mercenary camp on this map is technically able to be infa-bounced by Hogger. Excuse me. ONYX now. They banned Yrel. Very interesting. Yrel has been seeing a little bit more play, mostly by Wild Hearts. They've been the ones championing it. But that's what they're planning here. 30k, they give Uther over to... Sorry, ONYX give Uther over to 30k, which means ONYX now get Lucio. But that does mean 30k could also pick up Malfurion or Stukov and still get that double support. So ONYX, it's very likely one of their two picks here will be Lucio. No, it's not. So they don't ban Lucio. They pick up Malfurion and Rexxar, meaning 30k could absolutely go for main tank Uther right here. Okay. This suddenly got very interesting. What will we see from 30k? Will they take the bait? Will they do it or will they save it? D.Va and Tychus. Very heavy attack speed, so they don't pick up the Lucio. ONYX, do they ban it out? Medivh is still also available. They could ban that away. Yasuo is kind of a godlike Lucio. So if they put that Uther on X-Ray, remember, usually a support main, but main tank this season. There we go. Batting it away. Still a little bit too scary. The 30k wanted to prioritize getting something for their lanes as well. D.Va is okay into Rexxar. Tychus eats kind of everything. It's a very safe lineup so far. 30k now. What do they ban out? Cassia still available. Again, Medivh still up. Those are a couple of the good options, and they're just going to ban out the Cassia. Cassia blinds into Tychus, and if we go for Auto-Attack CC, then it would affect Uther as well. So remove those from the board. Get a little bit of potential that way. ONYX. Next two pickups. I expect they'll probably pick their tank here as they have the option to be higher priority on it. They do. Zul, main tank. With Gul'dan on the board. Now that's interesting, because right now that is main tank Zul with various protection. Valamar's healing will be reasonable, but we see a lot of teams these days when they're running Zul main tank, they usually have a little bit of extra protection. Funds could offer that. They also now have insane amounts of wave clear. Gonna see Diablo and Tassadar. Might as well go in deep. They got some good ranged burst as well. Tychus was already quite close range, so was Uther. So they've now got that Tassadar to give them some good ranged bursts so that they won't have everybody up all in Uther's face. Sorry, all in Zul's face. Now, how do ONYX deal with this? Zarya would be pretty reasonable, but that would limit their damage to Gul'dan, basically. I think they'll still just go with another damage dealer. They kind of do. Medivh does come out. This is what we've been seeing from Wildheart as well, where they will commit to a Medivh, and then they will they will force of will the Zul to keep the Zul going, keep the momentum going there. Very sensible. Keep the team alive. Keep that main tank Zul chugging. Between Zul, Medivh, and Gul'dan and Rexxar, I think they have enough damage, but I'm still very much leaning towards 30k. I think their comp is a little bit safer. The burden of execution is much, much higher on the composition of ONYX here, and I am concerned about that. They have so much more they actually have to do to make this comp work, whereas 30k is very much just engage, hit abilities, win game. The only thing they have to worry about is making sure they stay split enough that Zul does not just farm forever, or at least dive past Zul to get to that Gul'dan or that Medivh, and if they can do that, then they'll just get the kills anyway, and it will be fine and they won't have any problems. So, we're going to be getting ready to jump into that game number 3 of this best of 5. Score is currently 1-1, so we're 2 games away from either of these teams winning, if one of them was to win 2 games in a row. Potential for 2 games left in the series after this one. Let's get this going. Let's get this going. On the right-hand side, ONYX, Bad Betty on Zul, Valimar on Malfurion, Uki on the Rexar, Gotfill for Gul'dan, and Funz is playing that Medivh, bringing out the bird. It's bird up. Dun, dun, dun. ONYX, first one of the losing teams to find themselves a point outside of Oxygen. 30k on the left, Dine Out on that Tassadar, Hasu on Tychus, Liam on D.Va, X-Ray playing that Diablo. That leaves Yasuwu. He's going to be playing that Uther. We're going to be seeing Shade from the Zul. Not going with the shield cooldown reduction that you'd get from the Shackler. In this case, just going to be picking up the auto attack dodges, trying to counter the Tychus that way. It's a sensible strat, just to make sure you time your shield a little bit more effectively. Much more of a commitment to shield timing with this build, because that extra duration, that extra cooldown increase on the shield means you have to be a little bit more careful with it. Does drop it there. Drops a couple cleaves onto X-Ray, but doesn't want to get overpowered, so we'll back up. He got the gems. We'll be able to continue the rotation. They start with the clear. It's another corruption on the Gul'dan. It's another wave of light on the Uther. Grenade build on Tychus. Side Storm on Tassadar. Much better for the rotation here. They get the mana regen on every target that is hit by that Side Storm. Ooh, nicely done. Extra range as well means Tassadar stays much safer. There is an argument to be made for Q builds here, but you don't want to commit all your damage to a burst build when there's a Medivh on the team. The Side Storm build, going to keep them safe, and they still get lots of damage. They can still go percentage damage later and not worry as much. Lots of damage being dealt. Otherwise, talents pretty standard across the board. It's another Devil's Due, no auto-attack Diablo build here. That Devil's Due just going to commit them into a more sustain-based build here. It's a double soak map, so double the globes. The standard Force Wall Diablo charge combo. Absolute classic. First popularized by Virtus Pro in Europe back in 2016. Maybe 2015. I cannot remember. It was one of those two. It was a while ago. Hasu yeeting grenades. We would go with Electric Fence here for Die Down. Massive disruption. Restrict your opponent's movement. Restrict their fight angles. Give Diablo more opportunity to fight. Speaking of which, Diablo rooted, sleeped. Took a lot of damage. Betty really showing off those tanking chops with that Zul. Rush down for D.Va. Standard stuff with full metal as well. Diablo focus, rooted, slept. Just CC chained across the board. They do have this amazing chain root combo here. With Zul point and click root, it's Malfurion forcibly aimed root. Basically guarantees they hit it every time. Very solid to see. Hunter-Gatherer already at 1 stack. Firestorm build for X-Ray. Love it. Max sustain. Tried to charge Zul, stop him going through the portal. Gets the flip. Body blocks, but the portal just in time before it expires. Betty makes it through. Funzy's a little bit of damage. Nothing too bad. Hasu continues to pile on the pressure. Betty drops low. Not enough to finish the job. Medivh, by the way, Funz already up to 31 stacks. Looking good. Self-destruct had to be burned, meaning Liam likely lost a trade. You can see why. Uki really piling on the pressure. It's been playing really well today. Hasu interrupted on his channel. Only 3 gems. Not the worst thing. The Fun's still trying to be annoying. Good grenade. Nicely done. It's a quarterback, so it had that little bit of extra damage. Route 1. Route 2. Portal through. Big focus damage, but in the meantime, Betty, trying to be the tank, got absolutely bodied here. Able to get his shield off again, being very patient with it, stays alive. There's that extra Side Storm when you land your Shock Ray on that Tassadar. And we're going with the Melting Point this time. No Relentless Soldier. Look at these perfect wall charges. Perfectly comboed. But Force of Will, he's still Medivh. Absolutely perfect engage by the members of 30k, but Medivh is Medivh. And Funz is stacked. Very nicely done. Time to feed, buddy. Medivh getting that arcade rift, that master's touch was what it would be called in the old days, getting it fully stacked up here. Tries to focus onto the Misha to pick her off. And they do. Little cheeky kill onto that bear. Hand of protection from Uther. Getting that little extra cleanse. 43 stacks on that wave of light. Medivh is absolutely bopping Diablo with these. Hit the Nitros for the Diva. No surprising there. No surprises at all. And working on these towers. Minion wave about to expire though. Just quick mini stun on the way out. Stun cooldown reduction on Rexxar. And we're going to see a turn attempt from 30k, but Valamar's in position to delay. Will be zoned away though. Funds. He goes for the interrupt. Misha interrupted from below. In the meantime, Betty turning in their gems up in top lane, and delay is enough. Misha dies, but ONYX are the ones to get the turn in. That Betty even chasing down now a bit there. Got all their gems. It looks like it was a perfect turn in because Betty has 0 gems left. Rexxar dies in the bottom lane. Diva and the Tychus able to get that kill. Betty takes a lot of damage, but tanks through. He now has that Harvest Vitality. Huge damage sustained. Ooh, Wombo for 30k. Divide Storm, Black Hole, Lightning Breath, Micro Missiles, and Odin. They've got big Wombo energy here. Let's see what they can turn this into. Level 10 now finally hit for ONYX. With that level 10, no surprises. We're going to see Tranquility, Leyline Seal, which is burnt here. Quick cleanse from the Hand of Protection onto X-Ray, but he's tanking through with that Firestorm build. Horrify only hits Uther here. Lightning Breath, X-Ray focus down. X-Ray healed up one with the armor, but dropping low the poison from Poison Nova. Almost finish it, but Yasuo able to heal them for the extra armor, keeps them alive. That Poison Nova is going to be so good versus an Uther composition. Uther's AoE healing is lackluster at best. Once he's fully stacked on this wave of light, that will help. But right now, that Poison Nova from Betty is going to be very problematic. Web Beaver Wave did not guarantee a fort. 63 gems currently held for 30k, but they're very spread out. 27 on X-Ray is the highest amount. They really want to turn those in. Try and make their way in, but Funds in position to interrupt. Interrupts once. Yasuo stuns one, stuns two. Force wall. There's the portal. It's the tiniest portal. It's not over the wall. There's the shock from now. Gets the kill. And Funds so unlucky. The portal stopping just short of going over the wall. Absolutely ruining the escape. X-Ray gets the gems in. And that will be 30k with their full turn in. Looking for a bear kill as well. They'll get it. And that's 30k. Grabbing themselves control here. They're able to get the first fort of the game by capitalizing on their momentum down in this bottom lane. Nicely done. Liam has to drop the self-destruct. Can't afford to be chain-rooted. Has to just drop it and leave. Should absolutely be turning back into mech form as soon as possible here. The extra wave clear is nice, but you gotta build up the self-destruct charge again in case they're able to re-engage on you. You gotta combo that. But it looks like right now she's just committing to the extra push. Excuse me. The electric fence really slowing down the movements of ONYX. Struggling to capitalize. The Odin sieging away. Corruption countered by Gottfilth. Really piling on the pressure, but good damage. Force of will. Micro missiles. They're trying to set it up, but there's the ley line. Looking for the counter engage. Horrify. Timed well, but they're in the sleep. They chain the CC. Gottfilth dropped low. Poison Nova comes down, but Gottfilth is the one to die. Funds goes down too. That's a lot of gems dropped. And Bad Betty, he's unable to pick them up. They can't get to it. Misha will grab the gems. Black Hole comes out. Uki turns it round, looks for Liam. Can't find the final shots. The team gets out. 30k, grabbing the kills. They don't deny the gems. Misha picking them up. But they do easily have enough for their next turn in. Great momentum. Picked up by the side of 30k here. Able to creep themselves into the lead. Gonna set themselves up with that siege camp. Extra pressure down here in this bottom lane. With 2 forts down. The Web Weaver's coming in. Bot lane is now a big threat. Dimensional shift for Dynao here. What's that safety tool? Well met for Uther. Really all in on this Firestop build for X-Ray. Is he even going to go Debilitating Flames, perhaps? The hyper commitment. Normally you wouldn't, because you'd go for the stun, the Q stacks. Speaking of the Qs, lands the charge. Can they keep him stunned long enough to interrupt the portal? Black hole! Yes, they can! Liam charges in. It's a waste of D-Storm, but they do grab the kill. The CC chain stopping Medivh getting into the portal. Fort goes down. That's the final remaining fort. 30k. Setting themselves up to begin to look for tier 2s. Great force wall. What a route by Valamar, though. That saves Gotfilth. We know Gotfilth is an absolutely insane Gul'dan. And is really pumping out those damage numbers. But is it working for him? They take out the Web Weaver. Deepa's gone with good to go this time. Got to stay out of danger. We can see ONYX out on the map again. They now have enough for a turn. It's 75, 70, 80 gems all ready for them here. And there we go, Debilitating Flames for Diablo. Massive Firestop build. That damage reduction, really smart against the Gul'dan. Reduce that damage output means that Diablo's going to live longer. Divert power as well for D.Va. Double damage reduction. Titan Grenade for Hasu. Really going for big burst here. X-Ray is keeping vision, but Funds has full vision of X-Ray at all times. Meaning X-Ray cannot exactly hide in bushes and wait. Hunter-Gatherer completed 15 extra armor for that Rexar. We'll keep them safe. Weaken a level away for that Zul will help them out here. Tassadar, by the way, not going to go with the percentage damage on that Psystorm. 27 gems on Bad Benny. Very nice to see. But no percentage damage with that Thermal Lance. Instead, the Psychic Shock, the extra 25%, the damage being dealt 25% quicker. Cam stolen, but CC chain, massive CC chain, but Medivh is still Medivh. Bear will die though, but Cam stolen, nicely done by Funds. Had to burn Leyline for him, but he's got that heroic cooldown reduction now at level 16. Sets him up beautifully. Bad Benny, are they engaging this? Bad Benny with the most ambitious flank lands the root portal. Leyline seal not available, but they drop the poison over instead. Mini stuns from Liam, self-destruct, trapping Uki, but he still makes it away. The bear will certainly die here. No, it won't. Leyline. They get out again, counter, stun onto Diablo, but they can't afford to fight. They sacrifice the bear, which almost lived again. Great Titan Grenade from Diablo, from Tychus there. But again, ONYX, exactly the concern we talked about at the start of the game. We're now in the late game, and their damage output doesn't seem to be enough. Gul'dan is really padding those numbers. But now that Tychus has that Neosteel plating, they don't seem to be able to actually just kill anyone. Look at that. They just had Diablo alone for quite a while. They barely even touch him. The damage reduction from Debilitating Flames is making it really hard for them to actually execute a kill. This is exactly what we talked about before the game happening. ONYX missing that actual execute potential. Gul'dan does so much. But where's the finishing blow? X-Ray takes a lot of damage, but he's still tanking it so easily. Turnin's coming in for the side of 30k. ONYX, 45 gems on Benny, but the Turnins are being watched. Leyline lands on Tassadar, who dimensional shifted here. That might give them the chance to leave. Yes, it does. That's a big lightning breath. Absolutely roasting Gotfilth. Black Hole forces Uki back. 27 gems left. They lose Gotfilth. That's their main damage output. With no damage output, this fight is over for ONYX. They lose 47 gems. Misha tries to run in. Misha picks up some of the gems, but can't get them all. Leyline to buy time, but Hasu avoids it. Gets the kill. Valamar going down. Rexar gonna have to take make a sneaky port just to live here, to keep those gems. Valimar focused down. Able to get out of there with the root. Uki was able to recover a lot of the gems of Zul there. Up to 78 gems on that Rexar now. Can't afford to let Rexar die without them being close enough to the rest of the team to pick up those gems. Boss and Turnin going to be chained together for 30k. They're looking to end this map here and now and set themselves up for a match point. Beautiful clear. Making the most of the melting point. Hasu's setting himself up nicely. They want every lane as pushed up as possible. Maximize Web Weaver value. Here's level 20. With over 2 levels to go for ONYX. 30k of such a big lead. Divine Hurricane. The Force Barrier. That's basically game over on its own talent-wise when you combine that with Diablo. Big red button. And Diablo, probably a Hellgate. They could use that extra engage tool. Ablative armor for the Diva. Diablo is holding. He could also go for the big percentage damage drain there. Forced to back away. Force walls have been being dropped. Yasuo taking a lot of damage from that corruption, but is healing back up, and the armor is absorbing a lot of the hits. Trying to sustain here. X-ray zoning, delaying, distracting. Liam has a self-destruct at the ready. Micro missiles coming in. Send themselves up. Divert power. They drop the self-destruct, but he's right in the root. Down goes Liam. Big kill. Divine Hurricane on the other side, though. They take out Benny 1 for 1 as the core is taking damage. Boss is lowered. We're seeing X-ray dropping low. He's trying to stay alive, but down he goes. He went with the upgraded Lightning Breath instead. The boss will be cleared. The health bars on 30k are too low. They want to chase, but they can't. They have to protect their structures. Keeping mid is dead. Keeping bot is dead. It's a full structure wipe. And they're back in. 30k. The shields have not recharged. They keep the pressure on. Valimar dropping low. Sniped by Die now. Getting extra damage on the core as well with that Shockwave Ice Storm combo. Making their way back in. Even using Electric Fence to damage the core. That is 30k. 2-1 up in this best of 5. Very nicely done. 30k extending their, getting another lead here and setting themselves up for match point. 30k looking good here. You can see here, Uther nowhere near kept up in damage. Of course they didn't keep up in damage with Valimar. In healing, sorry, with Valimar. There was no way that was going to happen. In fact, barely kept up with funds. But it didn't matter, because the armor was enough. The stuns were enough. And everyone here had a little bit of self-sustain of their own. So it worked out in the end. The armor, of course, is not calculated into this healing, damage healing and shielding. It is not calculated super annoyingly. But in this case, they kept it together. With damage reduction from well met, the armor consistently from Yasuo, keeping people alive. And then everyone else just sort of dealt with themselves. The Neosteel plating, the dimensional shift, Oracle would have also worked here. The debilitating flames and the damage reduction from the Diva W, and getting that diverting power at level 16. They went very heavily into damage reduction. Which made sense when your only damage is Gul'dan and kinda Medivh. It's pretty easy just to counteract that, and just focus on killing everyone else instead. And that worked really, really well. As such, 30k able to go 2-1 up in this best of 5 series. Excuse me. Getting closer and closer to closing this out. One more win, and they will finish out this series. And I will be super early, as it turns out, meaning we're going to have a very long break, annoyingly. Oh, no, wait, no, this is game 3. I was about to say, are they going on another break? No, they're not. They're not. We're good. No one panic. We are good. All right, I'm just setting this up. $hour. Okay. So that should show correctly now if I do this. So how long do we currently have? 2 hours and 38 minutes, meaning we're going to have a 2-hour timer on. I think it's going to be more prudent just to end the stream and start it back up again near at a time. That's annoying. I thought I timed this really well. I woke up early just so I could actually have them timed so they don't really like run into one into the other. But it turns out when you take out all the CCL breaks, a 5-hour show is actually like 3 and a bit hours. So, yeah, we timed that a little poorly. Well, so yeah, we're just going to have to end the stream and jump back in afterwards. So, I'll raid you over to someone nice, and then hopefully you'll rejoin me when actual CCL starts again. So, 30k. They are choosing the map this time, meaning ONYX took us to first pick. And 30k are taking us to Sky Temple. Meaning if we have to go to a match number 5, our remaining maps will be Infernal Shrines, Garden of Terror, or Towers of Doom. Those are our remaining maps if we have to go to a map number 5. But for now, Sky Temple, we already know, big global potential. We saw Hasu playing Falstad early on. It was very effective. Some Bright Wings would be pretty reasonable here. After $6,600. Not bad. Only $300 off of a really good donation goal. Speaking of donations, if you're enjoying my casting, please consider dropping a subscription or a donation. We're aiming for 100 subs, and despite me not streaming in a bit, we're already at 47. Thank you all for your generation. Thank you for your generation. Your generation is pretty great. But thank you for your generosity. Every sub is appreciated. I'm not getting paid or sponsored to do any of these casts, so every little bit helps. Every bit of support is incredibly helpful and useful. So everything you can give there is wonderful. Whereas on our side, we are just trying to get by. Just trying to do what we can. So subs, donations, bit donations. Buy stuff from the Humble store using my affiliate link. That's a sleeper one. That's really good value for you. And it still gives me a little bit of income if you just use my affiliate link. You get games for the same price, if not cheaper than Steam, if you just buy them through my affiliate link. And I get to eat. Sounds like a fair trade. And sometimes, if you go do the Humble Bundles, you can put some money towards charity as well. Despite IGN trying to do real scumbag moves. I don't know if you guys saw, but IGN tried to, who I believe owns Humble. I know someone tried to do this. Someone tried to limit the amount of money you can put to charity on Humble, which has been reversed. So you can still support charities as much as you like. Feels good. We have our draft, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. This is first pick for ONYX. This is once again the map choice of 30k. Let's see Falstad. Banned away here. Uther taken out of action too. Uther was very solid last game, but 30k not wanting to give it over to ONYX. Lucio also still available, so is Kroby, so is Hogger. The Falstad ban's really sensible because it's a big wide map. Cassia even available. What do they ban? Malfurion? Also up there in the big ban priorities these days. What is the choice? They ban the Hogger. Good for the mercenaries on this map. It's a very safe ban. But immediately a Lucio pick. Not even going for Malfurion, which ONYX have been really prioritizing these days. They just straight up first pick Lucio. So now with Lucio on the board. What a 30k pick to get themselves back into this draft. They go for Brightwing. They still want that global. They still want that XP. And the Anubarak. Brightwing and Anub, great combo together. Great sustain. Big stun into polymorph means a big long CC chain. So very solid are those two together. ONYX now. They have offlane priority. They could pick up that Diva. Very good for the rotations on this map, which they do. And they grab Cassia. We've already talked about Cassia and Lucio together. Great mobility means Cassia is even tougher to deal with. Having those cleanses for Cassia. Cassia is, of course, countered by CC. So having a high 5 is really solid. And a very low cooldown cleanse at that. Abathur is removed. This would have been a reasonable Abathur comp. Abathur Lucio is very hard to deal with. And ONYX, one of the few teams that have shown Abathur this season. ONYX now. Last ban of the draft. They're going to take out Sylvanas. Sylvanas is gone. Sylvanas with a bit of solid follow-up here. Picked less often these days, it seems. But seems to work out as a solid ban away here. $30K. Reyna and Dahaka. Alrighty, so they do really hard commit to the globals. Last time it was Falstad and Brightwing. This time it is Dahaka and Brightwing. Dahaka into D.Va. Pretty reasonable matchup. Dahaka can do okay. D.Va can do okay. Really depends on if Dahaka can land those drags. D.Va much better at double soaking than Dahaka, but this is the most double soak focused map. It can be if you cause enough pressure on bot lane. Varian Maiev for ONYX. Much bigger commitment to absolutely just trying to blow people up here. Try and isolate some people. Try and pick up some kills. Maiev worked so well last time, but this time they don't have a Lucio to combo with. They're going to be relying on Varian to pick up those kills instead. Get those big taunts. 30k. Final pick for them. Ranged Assassin. Kinda. They get the Deathwing. Deathwing is an interesting one here. Maiev, Cassia, and Varian all have options, and D.Va actually, all have options for percentage damage. Not the highest amount, but they all have it. Cassia can also stack Q very heavily off of Deathwing. But honestly, this could easily be an auto-attack build Cassia, and it wouldn't be too bad here. Everyone's going to be grouped up around Brightwing. You're going to be able to stack those charge strikes off of the Beetles. You could potentially get a lot of value that way. It's interesting. There's lots of potential value there available. The auto-attack build will also mean you're easily more committed to the martial law, the percentage damage you can get through the auto-attack Cassia build, which would mean you have a better chance against the Deathwing, but the Q build would also just really stack up well and give you a massive DPS output against Deathwing. It's an interesting one. It is interesting. There's lots of potential available for either side. I'm curious to see if they do go for that percentage damage build to try and bring themselves back to a 2-2. Over, we're just going to see 30k close this series out here. The Deathwing's a solid choice. Great sustain, even more global potential. They have great objective control over it. We'll see. We will see as we are heading into game number 4. On the right-hand side, looking to even up the score, it is ONYX, Bad Betty on Varian, Gottfeldt on that Cassia, Valimar on Lucio, Uki on D.Va, and Funz will be playing that Maiev. ONYX need to even this up to keep themselves in this. They want to get themselves on the board. No wins yet. Whereas on this side, they are one of the first winning teams to lose a map. It is 30k. Hasuobs on the Deathwing. We have Liam on Dahaka, X-Ray on Anubarak, Dynao on Raider, and Yasuo will be playing that Brightwing. 30k are the first team who went 3-0 last week to lose a map. They're also the only other 3-0 team that has played so far this week. Beetle build for Anubarak. There is that charge strikes. Like to see it. The Lions more for Varian. Going for big heavy poke that way. Lucio sticking with the Accelerando. Keeping that movement speed going. Dynao pushes away Bad Betty. Exterminator for Dynao. Hardcore wave clear. Deathwing though. Going for what could be the melee or the old style range CC chain build. The wraparound from Gottfeldt and Benny trying to find Dynao, but X-Ray finds the double stun. Nicely done. But starting off with the W heals for Hasuops. So it's currently in melee mode, so sustaining that way, very interesting. This makes sense. They've basically gone for a 1-1-3, have a 30k. Dahaka can't double soak, D.Va can, so they're just putting a second offlaner. Raid is a solid solo damage dealer, he's good enough, so they can just have Deathwing do the mid lane and rotate in when needed. They're going to invade with melee mode Deathwing, trying to stay alive. X-Ray from over the wall. Liam tunneling in as well. Big drag onto Gottfilth. Dyna tries to finish the job. Molten Breath is good, but Gottfilth gets out with almost no health left. The sustain is good. 30k gain momentum though. They stole the camp, which is going to be very quickly cleaned up, but it does mean that that's some good fort damage. D.Va, very risky against the Dahaka Deathwing. Finishes the camp, but doesn't cap it. It's a risky move to do, but it's one that can get you great value later on. Looks like Cassie is going to be the one to finish it being capped. X-Ray taunted on the vision. A little bit of damage, not enough to kill. It's a Lucio variant. There's that rush down. Little shield for Lucio, stay alive that way. Hasu, full melee build. Going with that basically equivalent of Burning Rage. You can see here Cassia working away at him, just pinging away, poking down. The issue with melee mode Deathwing is he will get bullied like this until late game. Good jump by Funz. He's such a god, fam. He's so good. Taunt onto X-Ray again. This is familiar. X-Ray loses another quarter of health, has to leave. Uki's mech is burned. Hasu lands back in without able to top fully back up. Brightwing goes down. Trading a mech for a Brightwing. Definitely in favor of ONYX, but also everyone's looking very low and they will have to back up. Meaning they're going to miss quite a few shots on this objective. They're not actually porting. Valamar's just going to stay and try and top them all up here. Taunt. And goodbye. What a burst. Fantastic engage. Very quick reactions for the rotation of Benny, who's now going to head down and try to deal with Dino. Dino trades a single shot, doesn't commit any further. Doesn't know where everyone else is. Not worth dying. Currently, shots being taken on both temples by ONYX, gaining momentum here. Dahaka still soaking bot lane while this is happening. Dino and Yasuo clearing out the minions here, soaking back up. X-Ray on his way to mid as well. They're going to try and make the play. Yasuo lands again, down in the armor plate. Always seems to be down in the armor plate. Normally you'd sometimes see Deathwings with this particular style of melee build going for the cooldown reduction on the landing. In this case, it's healing. Gotta get that extra healing to try and keep themselves alive. D.Va finishes the shots top, does a good chunk of damage. And quite a few shots from mid were recovered by 30k. Very nice, very interesting. Boombox for Lucio, okay. Helping out the offlane, and also Vision. Boombox was now permanent, remember, as of several patches ago. Meaning they're able to use it for basically a permanent Vision ward until it dies. Maev, Ruthless Spirit. Each enemy... Oh, hang on, careful. Hasu trying to go aggressive. Good charge, does get damage onto Valimar there. But now each enemy hit by Spirit of Vengeance increases all damage Maev deals by 15%. For 4 seconds, stacking up to 30. So if she hits 2 heroes. Extra damage. Could be some really good burst output there. We'll have to see. For now, the team is just playing safe. The extra healing now from the Varian as well. Hasu lands in. They're going to evade the cap. With Varian showing up in top lane, this will just be guaranteed. Nothing they can do about this. However, top lane is taking a lot of damage while this is happening. Uki's setting up very nicely. Valimar and Benny rotating in. Although, the minion wave is expiring. Boombox even left behind to drag a few shots out of him. Fun's making the most of that percentage damage. Try to bully Hasu. Really high pressure here. Fun's actually taking quite a bit of damage. Doesn't have to teleport away. Hasu wins that fight. The damage output of melee Deathwing is very hard to deal with. There's that charge. Love it. Warbringer for Benny. Because now we can go into Juggernaut at level 13. giving himself some percentage damage to deal with Hasu. The high five, of course, containment disc, one of the few things that will affect that Deathwing, and also you can containment disc the Diva mech when it is self-destructing, meaning that the self-destruct time will be paused, but you have a longer time to kill Diva. Hasu lands, topped up this time. Bellowing Roar, Cocoon, Raiders Raider, Isolation, and Blink Heal. On the other side, Valkyrie, no surprise there, into this composition where you really want that Brightwing. You see the Warbringer, High Five, Containment Disc, and Micro Missiles. Funds. Very heavily pressuring mid. It's quite a bit of damage. Tethers die now in. Quick Containment Disc. Making sure that Funds stays alive. They're not able to get anything out of it, but it was just making sure that Funds lived. Shots being taken. Down in bot lane, though. What is this happening? Funds needed help. As such, final shots in bot lane will be grabbed by X-Ray. The mid 4 lives, though. So far, only technically 1 fort down this game. And that's ONYX's bottom fort. But top for 30k basically dead. Mid for ONYX basically dead. It's still a solid lead for 30k. They should actually turn those into the actual kills. Cataclysm down from above. Hasu doing huge damage output here. Fear does land onto Cassia, who's very isolated from the team now. They're trying to cut off her escape. Variant in the cocoon as it's all onto Gotfilth. Valkyrie does not land. They really want Gotfilth, who lands the fed, but he's so trapped. Isolation lands, and that's going to be the only kill of this fight. Funds should be able to get away. Diva grabs a bruiser camp while all this is happening, and they just try to put some pressure onto him. Hasu, he's a little bit deep here. Might need to be careful. Take some damage. Good dodge by Funds, preventing the healing output. And Hasu is actually in serious trouble now. We're seeing Valimar chasing him down. The Lucio Deathwing matchup. But Hasu able to escape. Will need to head to the sky, though. Goes back up to heal. Tries to heal up off Uki a bit and also clears out. Damages that Bruiser camp a tad. Yasu starts the siege. And Dynao has been left on wave clear top duty. Liam coming up to help. Between the two of them, they have really good objective, really good camp clear. Even Hasu is going to land, though, because there is reinforcements up in top lane. There's that Juggernaut. Percentage damage from Varian with cooldown reduction on level 10. Valkyrie just short. Tickling Dianao's butt cheeks. He's able to retreat and not get caught out, though. Hasu staying alive. Heals up. Burning Beetles for that Anubrak. It's a full Beetle build. Just staying alive, staying sustained. Liam clearing this out, clearing out top. Top lane taking a lot of damage up here. Down goes the forts. Hasu tanking through this. Really intense tanking there. He's been taking a lot of damage as we see a cheeky boss attempt. Dino does help kill this very quickly, and with the amount of beetles X-Ray is summoning, it will help a lot. You can see Hasu trying to distract, trying to delay. They have Bellowing Roar, but they gotta finish this quickly because members are starting to get wise to this, but it looks like this will just be taken. ONYX with Diva up in top lane and Maiev down in bot. They were unable to turn that into anything. Extra range, by the way, for Cassia, just staying a little bit safer. X-Ray pulled in. Not enough to turn into anything. Excuse me. Deathwing. Going with the level 13 Fire and Fury. Extra damage to stunned and rooted targets and the cooldown reduction of Deathwing's basic abilities. They have lots of slowed, stunned, or rooted slow stuns and roots. So that's pretty good here. The fact it works on slows as well is awesome. They keep the pressure going. 30k. Quite far ahead in terms of XP here, but the structure's completely even. All forts gone. 1 kill to 2 in favor of ONYX, but 30k, they're just out macroing right now, making the most of these globals. Hasu, he could go to the sky here to refresh that last armor plate. Doesn't seem to be too bothered, though. 30 armor is still pretty reasonable when you have all the health in the world. Could be seeing level 16 for 30k first. There's that extra burrow for the Anubrak. Everyone else holding for now. Critterize for Brightwing. Makes sense. Not really a huge other option there. Paint them red for Reyna. Stick going with the sustain instead of percentage damage. Elementium plating for Hasu. Going big tank style here. Varian finishes stacking. Nice. And it's going to be the extra burrow tunneling claws for death for the Dahaka. Very interesting. Wants that boss securing ability and escape chance. Siege camp grabbed by Die Now very easily. Oh, they got to kill the boombox. Kill the wisp. That goes down. But immediately Siege camp will be gathered in exchange for the bruiser camp up in top lane. ONYX grabbed their own bruiser camp to try and match the one of 30k. 30k have so much momentum right now, though. 2 siege caps pushing bot lane. Liam pushing with them right now, trying to stop funds clearing them. 30k are just gaining so much momentum here. One day, welcome back. Lurking. Hasu. Clearing out the objective as best he can. A little bit outnumbered, though. Will be forced to back away. He's full on armor plates, though. Some more team comms that we can't listen to. Superb. Big move in. Hasu staying healed. Benny, remember, though, has that percentage damage, whittling him down. Meantime, Liam macroing like a beast. Grabbing a lot of shots in that bottom lane. Brightwing forced to teleport to the team, abandoning the shots up in top lane. 30k, they make it onto mid to prevent it going all the way over. Charging onto Uki. Big kill there from 30k. Using the man advantage, they get the full Diva kill. Cataclysm over the wall. Gottfilth is bodied. Trading Brightwing for it. The Cocoon on funds prevents them from helping. He teleports out. Actually lands the percentage damage onto Yahasu. Up to has to put the Elemental plating to stay alive. But massive damage from that Inferno. And that is a big kill for 30k. 3 for 2. Bruiser Cap in top lane. But they just got a lot of shots off. And they're going to be able to run in bot and try and finish off that keep using Anubrak's Beetles. Beetles coming out. Dahaka going to port back to base. Clear out that bruiser camp so that the team can get out. Will the keep die? Stated can half a health worth of damage. Hasu re-landing here. Dahaka trying to prevent their keep from dying. It's a keep brace right now. Dahaka should be able to save it. It's going to be tight. Good taunt onto X-Ray Burrow Charge. He goes down anyway, though. The keep able to finish him off, meaning the ONYX, able to save their keep here. Raiders Raider trying to keep Benny D mounted. He's got Giddy up, meaning Die Now will not be catchable. Valimar tries to run him down. Not going to be enough. But Hasu, there's quite a few armor plates actually. He has to burn the fear. Valimar, not done yet. Just going to try and work him down. Plate's dead. Charges out. Brightwing's here to help. Elementium plating. That holds him in it for now. Dahaka from behind. Now Liam's the one who needs to get out. Lands the beautiful drag on Valimar, but there's no follow-up here. No one in position. And they get out. Only Anubrak dying. The keeps both live. Intense back and forth between these two teams, but this is still 30k. Very solidly in the lead with level 20 online, but that's a boss attempt. Coming in for ONYX with a mad advantage. No Anub yet. Dahaka could try and burrow in with Tunneling Claws to try and secure it. Die Now gains vision, using the Raiders Raider for vision. Liam, not going to be able to make it. They have to give it up. They did not have the Bellowing Roar. It would have been their big secure points there. As such, they give it up. Unable to delay, unable to distract. That's going to be ONYX picking up the boss. Instead, they look for the kill on Valimar, but High Five gets him out. Hasu lands, doesn't find anything. There's that percentage damage for Cassia, Martial Law. Able to get a lot of damage. Will they go for the armor ignoring autos? No, gonna stick with Rock Stopper. Charging onto X-Ray. Benny burrows it out, putting Yasu in danger, who's caught in the Valkyrie instead, but it's enough. Both of them get out. Hasu took a lot of damage, but keeps on 3 plates. Trying to stay alive. Deathwing's gone for the big extra damage as long as he stays in that destroyer form. with that Destroyer's Rampage. They try to make their way forward, setting themselves up. Big damage output. There's the Cataclysm across the fight. Lucio is down. Funds in the backline. Self-destruct being dropped. Self-destruct lands on no one. It's 1-0 right now with Lucio the only one to fall, but Hasu's taking a lot of damage on the backline. The Melting Plating has to be dropped. Good poly onto Gotfilth as Liam chases him down. Dark Swarm finds the kill. Now Funds all alone. 22 health finished off by Deathwing. And that's going to be a 3-4-0 in favor of 30k. They're getting that bottom keep, baby. That keep is theirs. They will grab it. They will gain control, and they might even try to end Deathwing lads. It's a 5 versus 2 defense. Uki's tried everything to try and delay, try and distract. They didn't go for the divert power, so they can't go for maximum full team damage reduction. Instead, they're still going to try and drop it onto Raider. Hasu sustaining through with these Ws. Daidao and Yasu have massively outrun Benny and Uki as they focus onto the core. The core tornadoes trying to disrupt, but they're all just in melee range as game number 3 and the series will go over to 30k. They take the series and as such go 3-1 up. Their current score 6-1. They take the top of the table. 30k take the lead in the Heroes HeroesCCL. Small downtime before the next games. Yeah, because we have 3 hours before the next games, we are, or basically 2 hours, but still a long time. We're gonna raid someone, and I'll just start the stream up in time for the other one. I just started too early. It's on me. I saw this time of the VOD, and I was just like, oh, that's fine. I'll just play that, and if I fast forward through the bits, it should be there in time. Does that cut out like an hour to 2 hours of content by fast forwarding because there's so many breaks in CCL? Feels insane, man. But, ladies and gentlemen, Oxygen 30k, they are able to take the lead in the CCL. With that, Oxygen will move into 5th place here. I always say third, even though I know it's 5th. Currently, ONYX and Granite sit in 8th and 7th place, but ONYX, they will be in 7th because they have a map, a -5 map ratio, which is good for them. 30k, they sit at a +5. If any of Wildheart, Storm, or Simplicity today can get 3 zeros, they will overtake 30k for 1st place. Chili Mountain, if they can score a map, they will be tied with score a map and lose. They'll be tied with ONYX. If they can score 2 maps and lose, they will be in 6th place. If they can score 3 maps and not lose, they can score 3 maps and lose any amount of maps, they'll be in 6th place. If they can score 3 maps and without dropping a map, then they will overtake Oxygen and take 5th place. There you go. Those are the standing setouts. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for me for this part of the broadcast. Tune back in at 9 PM British time. That is in some hours. Hang on, it's about to be 7. So that is 2 hours and what's about to be 10 minutes time. So make sure you tune back in then. For now, I'm going to raid you over. I'm going to see if Caldor's still streaming Masters Clash, and I'll try and raid you over to him if he still is. So have a wonderful time. Hopefully you'll rejoin me when we get back into CCL Live. I hope you have a good time today. Thank you all for watching. I have been Tetcher, and we'll see you for the live CCL games later today. If you enjoyed the stream, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe or donate. Thank you very much. See you all next time. Thank you one day. See you all in 2 hours.